A lot of us today are working from home or living at work and end up doing a lot of tasks simultaneously, and that possibly gives us a lot of unconscious bias towards our team members, towards our co workers. And in this video, I'm going to talk about 5 such biases that I feel we should get rid of when we're working from home. Now, let's talk about the first bias, which is the confirmation bias. This deals with a situation where you have a hypothesis in mind and you're looking for confirmation for this, and oftentimes it so happens that if we believe that a coworker is multitasking at the same time as they're working, we feel that whenever they're away, they're probably doing some other work. Whenever we hear background noises, we probably feel that they are not working and they're focusing more on the work at home. So this type of a confirmation bias arises out of the mere assumption that a person is also doing something else apart from the regular work that's supposed to do. For example, they might be doing childcare at the same time as they're in a meeting. They might be eating, they might be cooking, they might be cleaning, they might be walking their dog while taking a meeting on their phone. So this type of a confirmation bias leads us to believe that this person is not dedicated, and maybe even lead us to believe that this person is not efficient when at work. So be conscious of this. Whenever you feel that someone is multitasking, probably do check out and get rid of this confirmation bias. Get rid of this feeling that someone is multitasking at the same time as they are doing their office work. The other bias that I wanted to talk about is the contrast effect, where a lot of times we end up comparing our colleagues one against the other. What we do is we see how effective one colleague is with respect to other colleagues, and we try and compare both of them and say that when a guy A can be more effective at a work from home situation, why can't guy B so? And we also probably contrast between this person's effectiveness when in office versus this person's effectiveness when at home. And what that makes us do is that we keep trying to ensure that this person is effective in our parlance even at home, and so we keep comparing them. You were more effective before this, you used to generate more reports in 1 hour, what happened, what is wrong with you, and stuff like that. So maybe at this point in time all of us are passing through a difficult situation. This is a pandemic. None of us were trained to deal with the situations of a pandemic, and hence maybe we should probably not try to contrast between this person before and after, or during office hours and after office hours, or in an office location, or working from home. The next interesting bias that I wanted to talk to you about is the attribution bias, and this is a very interesting bias because I think I've been subject to this a lot of times. When someone asks me why you made a sale, I would say it was my skill. When someone asks me why you were not able to make a sale, I would say it's because of the price or because of external factors that were not in my control. And even in the pandemic situation, we can see that we can very easily draw 2 by 2, where we can compare what we have done versus what others have done, right? And for example, this is me versus others, and if I were to define success and failure in terms of both for myself and for others, I would always attribute the success to myself, my qualifications, my effort, my skills, and the failure to external factors. For example, if I'm successful in not getting corona, I would probably say it was because I took measures to ensure I was safe. Whereas when someone is successful in ensuring that they do not get exposed to corona, probably we feel that it's because of their luck. Maybe if I failed to protect myself or my family, I would say, oh, I couldn't help it was the external factor, something happened, it was the AC, it was the air, whatever, right? And if they fail to protect themselves from corona, we probably say that this guy must have gone out, this guy must have not worn a mask, this guy must have not maintained social distancing. So we always attribute our success to our own skills and their success to luck, whereas our failure to external factors and their failure to them. So we are very biased in terms of attributing success and failure to different people. And what happens is that when we say that this person is working from home, if for example I am working from home and I'm very successful, I would say it's because of my great management skills. And if they are doing it, I would say a company provided them with a chair, a table, an internet connection, and so we enabled them to do their work. Similarly, if I say that I failed in for example attending a meeting, I would say, oh, it was bad weather, I did not have internet connection. But whereas if the same internet problem arises for my colleague, I would say, oh, by the way, this person must be multitasking, multitasking, or they did this deliberately, they always do this before key meetings and stuff like that. So we should be very conscious of this attribution bias, where we feel that our problems are real, others' problems are all fake, or our success is real and others' success is all merely luck. The next bias that I wanted to talk about is the affinity bias, where we feel that people who are similar to us behave like us. People who are not similar to us do not exhibit those behaviors that are required for a professional work from home setting. For example, if someone is not switching on their video, we probably think that this person is not same as me, this person doesn't live in a good house like me, for example, or doesn't have a good internet connection, doesn't have a good background, and so they are not switching on their video. Or why are they taking more time to join a meeting? Or would they be more effective in office because they probably copy someone else, but at home they are on their own? And so at the end of the day, we try to differentiate between people like us and people not like us, and we feel that people like us are like us, people not like us are very different. And this attribution of who's like us and who's not like us is very subjective. It could be anything from behavior to gender to economic background or anything. And so we probably tend to be softer towards people like us and harsher towards people who we think are not like us. And the last bias that I want to talk to you about is the conformity bias, where we want to be looked upon as a person who conforms to the norm. For example, there are a lot of people who come online at the same time as the manager comes online, or they want to have meetings at the same time as the manager usually wants to have meetings, or they want to kind of conform to the common practice of, for example, joining in early, leaving late, or joining late or leaving early. If your work demands that sort of a arrangement, you should definitely go ahead with this. But if we are working from home and we are in a pandemic situation where we are not clear about what the situation outside would be, maybe if our work does not require us to be online at a certain time and if we are more effective at another time, maybe we should probably speak to our managers and ensure that happens. So let us not try to conform to the common norm and be part of the crowd and be pleasers of our team and of our managers. And what happens is, when we have all these unconscious biases in a work from home setting, we exhibit certain behaviors that could lead to detrimental impacts. For example, we probably check status of our team members regularly and kind of micromanage their presence in office. We usually do not do that at our workplace. We do not stand up and check who's sitting in their desk every second. But when we start working from home, we have these biases that this person is probably multitasking, this person is not like me, they must be doing something else, this person is less effective at home, this person is doing something that is leading them to failure, and this person is not conforming to the common norms. And so because of all these biases, we end up checking their status every second, every minute, be it Skype, be it Teams, and that leads to a lot of pressure within the team and with the manager. And you think of the kind of behavior that drives. So if you're checking their online status every second, they know that that is the incentive they need to work for. They probably ensure that they are online, but the work probably does not get done. Similarly, having meetings at a certain point in time when you know certain team members cannot make it, and that team need not be at that point in time, could be another such behavior which comes out of these unconscious biases. Similarly, micromanagement or having more monitoring, talking to team members more often just to confirm one of these biases is not the way to go about it. So think about it. If you are exhibiting any of these behaviors in your work from home situation, or if you see a co-worker doing it, have a discussion, understand what their challenges are, ensure that you all are working in a more congenial environment.